Alrighty, hello everyone. Set that up a little bit real quick. And let's see. Dashboard, manager. There we go. Boom. Okay, so today we will continue our painting of our crisis suits. So there we go. Okay, now where was I? Okay, yeah, so we will continue the painting of our crisis suits. Last time we did the reds. Today I'll be doing the blues. As a side note, so I did fix up this guy here. So got his leg back on by pinning it. So, boom. Get that back on. And the one I had an oopsie on and did the wrong color, I stripped him down and reprimed him. So, yeah. So, now we will be doing the blues. So, we will have this guy here in his blues. And get this paint started. So the Valeos don't really need to be thinned too much compared to the other ones. They're already very liquidy, so I shouldn't have too much issues with them today. So you can always put a little bit more paint on them, a little water in there if you want. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, get some of that paint on there. And we'll start off with this guy here. Yeah, so being very liquidy in the first place, this will definitely need more than one coat of blue. So basically what I want to do is get that antennae, a little bit of blue on it, and this little back plate here, get some blue on it too. So as you can see, definitely will need more than one coat, because you can still see quite a bit of white throughout this. So. Yep. So, got our first one done, so we'll let them dry. Move on to the next. And get him painted up as well. Okay, there we go. Oh shoot, I do need to do the underside here. Okay. I'll get back to the other one real quick and do that underside too. So very simple, not much. Boom. Okay, so we already got 2 drones done. Let's get the next one. And boom, 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 boom. Gotta make sure we get the underside. And there we go. Now let's get that antennae done. Okay, there's another one done. Let's get the next one. So, okay, so boom. Let's get this done here. There we go. Got a little bit of blue on that antennae. And now let's do this little part here. Boom. And then let's get underneath here. And there we go. Like I said, we'll definitely need more than one coat, because that is a very, very light color when you're, and very wet color I should say, very liquidy. So we'll get that sorted out with multiple coats. And a boom. Now we're going to put blue onto this here. Let's get the underside. Okay. Let's move this guy out of the way here, and let's move on to this one. Okay, so this one has 2 antennae to do. So it's going to be fairly easy to get done. Just make sure we get that. Put you in. There we go. And boom. Got that antenna done. Now let's get back here. Definitely needs a little bit more. Let's just put a little bit more paint here. Oh, fuck's sakes. Boom. Let's not forget the side and underside. And with that, the last drone has its first coat of blue. Okay, so now we will move on to the Crisis suit. I'm just going to pull up my color plate. Okay. So let's see, where is it? Boom. Okay. So most of the legs, so I'm gonna have to also get the arms for that one, the arms of the one that's gonna be Starscream. I do need to do some of the legs on the Starscream, and yeah, okay, and most of it, these things are gonna be blue. Okay, what about the back? The back, it's gonna be blue. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do it blue. Okay, so basically, my blue is going to be these little sides here. Okay. So this is going to be blue. This is going to be blue. Do the underside as well. This. Now I'm going to get into that little nook and cranny that we can barely see over here. And just go in here like this. Get some of that blue in there. So we definitely need more than one coat. Well, that's okay. this. Let's get him off his stand. Yeah, I can't really get into it, or can I? Let's try. Yeah, we can get it a little bit in there, but not too much. But either way, this back plate here is going to be blue, so let's get that out of the way. And hello viewers. For those that just joined me, we are painting our crisis suit at the moment. So I'm currently painting some blue. The inside blue as well. A boom. Okay. So I got this part done. So yeah. So definitely, don't worry if it looks like shit at the moment. We will be putting more layers of blue onto this, more coats of blue, to make sure we no longer see that white underneath. Okay, so now let's get to these legs. We also need to do these, but I'm gonna wait for those. So okay. So the feet themselves aren't blue, but the legs are. Yes, it is, Chillzilla. Yes, it is. How you doing today? Nice. Good day at work, I hope. Yeah, eating's always good. Yeah, that's what matters with work. It's the pay, as long as you're getting paid. I could do that. Okay, so we got part of a leg done. So I'm just gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna do the sides of it blue, but I'm gonna leave the front to put some gray on it. Okay, now we got to do the back here. Okay. Boom. So we got one of the two legs down. Now I've got to do the second leg. So, boom. So it's not very blue at the moment because the Vallejo fluorescent blue is very liquidy. So, like I've said at the beginning, this is not a color that you would water down. You can if you want to, but it's already very liquidy, so it doesn't really need additional water. Let's see. Yep, so definitely will need more layers of blue. So probably a lot more than the red. So we will see when we get to that. But yeah, it definitely needs more than one coat of red of blue. Because yeah, so here's the first drone that I did tonight. So a little out of focus, but as you can see, we can still see a lot of the white onto there. But yeah. But so far, it's still looking pretty good. I'm liking the blue on this, so definitely can't wait to see how it's going to turn out at the end. Okay, there we go. Let's take a quick look at the picture. I do need to make the wings blue. Okay. Yeah, so the wings need to be blue. There is a stripe of white, but not that big of a stripe. And I do need to get his arms, as well as the one that's going to be Starscream. So, let's see, how am I going to do this? Yeah, this is definitely going to be blue. do, but as Great White Robot said, I'll be back. Yeah, Terminator. Let's get... Oops. Okay, so we got the blue here, so let's do the blue on the front. Yeah, see you later, Edgel. Yeah, let's just do the whole thing blue. I can leave this white for the stripe, to represent the stripe. Okay, so we got this here. Boom. Okay, let's have to get into that little nook and cranny over here. The most annoying parts of these, should not have assembled these right off the bat. Note to self, if I make any future crisis suits in the future, leave these wings off and glue at the end. Okay, so let's get front now. A bit more blue. Okay, so we got, oh, let's put some blue here as well. Let's not forget the side of these things. Okay, now let's move on to the other side here. I think I'll do those weapons as well blue, just to keep it. Okay. That blue is done on this side. Now we need to do the back of this thing here. Dabby, dabby, dabby. Get that blue in there. Center with this here. And let's put some extra blue in there. Okay. Let's add some blue into my little pot here. So while we're doing that, let's put him on his pedestal. I'm definitely loving how the blue looks overall with the even though it's very not quite as you can see, we can still see quite a bit of white through that blue. But so far I'm loving this. Really loving this. Looks pretty cool. So let's get more blue into it. Oh, gotta do the inner thigh here. There we go. A little bit of that inner thigh here as well. Okay. Now let's get inside this thing. Okay. Let's see. Okay. There we go. I'm missing some blue here. Okay. Yeah, so I'll paint this blue, and like the missile heads, it can be definitely a different color. You can even put in some different colors in there just to make it a little bit more flashy. But in the meantime, let's get this sorted out. We got some blues clues. No, we don't. There's no blues clues here, unfortunately. Okay. Now let's get this here. What's this? Oh. go. Okay, we got the blue on this Crisis suit. Oh, I'm missing a little bit of blue here. Right in that little crack here. There we go. So, we got the blue done on this guy, mostly. So we'll need to do some blue on the one that looks like that's going to be Starscream, and on the arms of this guy here as well. So I'm just going to pull up my reference picture real quick. Let's see, reference picture. Okay, so his guns are blue. That guy's and this top part. Okay, where is the box with the reference? Okay. So, always make sure to keep these around. So, let's see. Okay. Okay, so the Iridium suit, which is this guy here. Yeah, he has a codpiece and the different front. So he only has the one antenna on his head, which I believe is this guy here. And these are the weapons I used on him. Correct. Let's see. Just double check. Yeah, because feet are all the same. Yeah, those are all the same, so it doesn't really matter. So it doesn't really matter. So, okay. So that's going to be Starscream's head. So I want to pick his arms up. So this one and this one. So basically, this is going to be his arms. And we want so his hands are going to be blue, while the rest of the arm is gray, as well as the weapon. Okay. So for that, we just need to make sure we get only this part done. Okay. Shit. I dropped my paintbrush. No! There we go. Okay. got one forearm done. So I'll put this back onto here and put this back into place over here for now. There we go, so let that dry a little bit. And now let's get this arm done. As to remind you guys, this is only Starscream's. So Starscream's hands and forearms are blue. So hence why only the hands on this one is getting blue. And a boom. So this is what it's, basically this is what it's going to look like, kind of. So there we go. So let's put that back onto the socket here and put that away. Oops, nope, wrong way. This way. And now let's get the weapons for the other guy. So these ones. So let's get that spread out here. Okay, so now for him, it is the so for these guys, it is the top part of the arm. So the shoulder, yeah. So the shoulders. Oh, actually no. Yeah. So the shoulders only, and the weapons. But before I do that, just looking at the picture, let's do the joint as well, blue for Starscream. Just to get a little bit more, because it is just technically the top part of the arm we want in that other color. So let's just make it consistent and put all the joints the same color. Because basically when we get to the third robot, his arms are going to be black and purple. Okay, so I've got that done. Boom. So let's go here. So, boom. Let's get that other one out real quick here. And get that blue situation sorted out as well. Fucking hell. Stop moving. Yeah, that's going to be much better with the joint being blue as well. There we go. And boom. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now off to this guy. We want to get his arm, only the shoulder plate done. And I'm going to have to trim a little bit of that brush there. This is annoying. Let's give it a little trim. Quick. There we go. Go. Okay, now let's get that weapon done in some blue as well. So I might do a little bit of things here and there not in blue, but I do want to get some nice little colors here and there. But yeah, no, it's going to be mostly blue, just to keep the thematic going. To be careful not to get the hand. Because that hand is going to be a dark gray. Go. Okay. Okay, so we got the blue weapon done. We can now switch to the other arm. So let's get this back on its, whoops. Let's get this back on its stand over here. And let's get sorted out on this here. So kind of paint up. T'au symbol. Try to get inside as well. even though we're probably not gonna see it when it's when it's done. Might as well do it. It's not a lot. Famous last words. It's not a lot. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's right, we gave him a flamethrower and whatever that other weapon was. So right now I'm painting the flamethrower. A little bit trickier to paint off this thing, but I mean, could be worse. So let's keep going and going and going. Okay. Oops. Okay, and this weapon is pretty much done. So, only thing left to do on this one would be the... Oh, nope, I lied. I'm not completely done. I do need to do a little bit of an inside here. Oops. Okay, so this is going to be ready for the second coat later on. So now, I'm going to go back to our drones and do these. The first. Oh wait, no, I forgot. We need to do this guy real quick. So his feet need to be blue. And a little bit of blue on the shins. So let's get that sorted out. Let's get his feet nice and blue. Starscream has blue feet apparently. We got this shit going on. Okay. So feet are looking pretty good. So again, this is the first coat of blue that these are getting. So definitely will need more blue, more coats. Okay. Now for the shin part, I think how do I leave this? Yeah, just put a little stripe of blue on these here. So boom. Okay, there we go. So we now have a Starscream with blue feet. Let's put him on his dock for a moment. Oops. Okay. Let's put him aside and let's go back to our drones for the second coat of blues. So let's whoop. No, I don't want to do that. Cancel. And boom. Okay. So definitely gonna need more blue in my palette. Let's keep painting. Alrighty, we can see with just a second little coat of blue how much better this is going to look. So let's get that sorted out here. Now let's get some of that blue up here as well. And boom. Okay, so we can definitely see a little bit how the difference in just adding a second coat does. So we can just line up two of these so we can see a bit of a difference. Might be a little bit harder to see on camera like that, but it is what it is. So let's get the second coat on this guy here. There we go. And a boom. Let's get more blue onto here. Okay, let's add a little bit more blue to palette. Mix it up a little bit, put whatever's in here. Okay. Okay. Let's get some of that on second control. It'll burst that little bubble. There we go. There we go. Boom. Okay. So definitely the second coat definitely looks better. Get that more there. Oops. Okay. Got that one done. Let's get to this one here. Second coat on here, and let's put that second coat here. Make sure we get those air bubbles out. Okay. And now let's get there we go. Okay, so I got that one done. So let's put this guy to the side. And our final drone, getting his second coat. little too much paint. Shit. There we go. Put it back over here. Crisis subverted. And decide. Okay. I've just got to do the little port here. Okay. Get that over. And boom. Now I need to double check to see if I did this on all the other ones. That one I did. That one maybe? Yeah, I did. Yep. Yep, I did. Yep, they were all done. Okay. Now let's get back to our main glue guy. Whoop. So he's ready for his second coat. So let's get started. So basically, just want to get a second coat onto him, get that shit sorted, and see, what game do you play these days? So lately I've been playing the Outer Worlds on top of Final Fantasy XIV. So Outer Worlds is kind of like a Fallout, yeah, kind of a Fallout in space kind of thing. It's pretty cool. What about you? What have you been playing so far? Yeah, no, definitely, especially since they announced the second one. Ooh, Baldur's Gate 1, nice. That's some old school shit. Finishing the series before I get my PC that can run the game. Yep, I hear ya. Boom. Yeah, so here's a difference between the two legs. As you can see, the second coat on this leg looks much better than the first coat on. This one definitely will need a third coat, but so far it's getting better. Boom. Okay, let's get the other side of this leg done. And boom. Okay, so the legs are looking good. Now let's get these little turn it down real quick. Understand. Because I'm gonna need more blue. Because oh shit. That was not properly closed. Where is my... There we go. Okay, let's get him back up. So let's see. Okay. Get those little nooks here. Get into that nook here. There we go. Get into that one here. Okay, now let's get this backpack done. here. Okay. Let's get in here. Get inside of here, even though we won't see it. But yeah, so far a second coat does help quite a bit. Okay, so now let's get his wings. My favorite color? Well, my favorite color is blue. Teal aqua, nice, yeah. Yeah, those are pretty good colors. Okay. Let's get inside of here. Okay, there we go. Ah, shit, I forgot to do that side there. Oh well. Let's get that done. Let's get some through in here and these nooks and crannies as well. Anyway, yeah, what's up? I'm trying to mess out. You mean you maxed out Final Fantasy 2? You mean you like completed it 100%? Like you maxed out all the levels and everything? Nice. That must have been quite the grind. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so I got a second cone to swing. Actually, still missing a bit here and there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, which version of Final Fantasy II did you play? Like, was it like on a Steam version, like the Pixel collection, or was it like or the Pixel remaster? Yeah. Okay. Nice. .3D kind of thing. Kind of. Okay. Yeah, one game I want to get in the near future is a Stellar Blade. That game looks awesome. Okay. And there we go. Second coat of blue on this guy. So definitely starting to look a lot more like our oh, someday they make something else in a sequel or remake. I mean, games in general. True. True. Okay, so now let's get Starscream's arm into here. Oops. Okay, let's. There we go. Oops. There we go. Got one arm done. Let's get Starscream's second arm. And let's get his arm done. Oops. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. There we go. Second arm done. Now time to move on to the other arms for our blue boy. Okay. So this guy, his shoulders are blue, and his guns are blue. For this one, I gotta be careful because the entire arm, most of the arm is blue. Gotta be careful not to touch. Boom. Okay. Take these nooks and crannies here. Okay, this arm is completed. Let's put it back on its stand for now. And let's get the final arm. Okay. There we go. And there we go. We got the final arm done. Okay, so, and now let's get Starscream's feet done again. So, got his little shin done, and then got to do the foot. Gonna need a tiny little bit more paint, I think, if I want to finish this. Don't want to wait. Just one tiny little drop should do. There we go. definitely a big difference in that foot. And let's get the second foot done. Okay, there we go. And we got the feet done. We got the feet done for start screen. So that's the second. So I've done the second coat on everything. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let these dry out for a bit, and instead of painting now, just to a little bit of a palette cleanser for the rest of the evening, I'm gonna assemble a special mini. First of all, I'm just gonna clean my brush. Where's my brush cleaner? Oh, that's right here. So, put in water, get some soap onto it, a bit more water. And boom. Okay, so we got that done. Okay, so now, like I said, I'm going to be done for painting for tonight. However, there is a mini I want to assemble. A special mini. So I recently got the Warhammer 40k. Oops. Recently got this. Let's see if I can. The Warhammer Character Encyclopedia. And it comes with a Lieutenant Titus mini. The only thing I hated about this book is that this entire section here held the mini. To get the mini out, I thought I had to open this shit up. But no, that's not what we had to do. We had to get it out from here. And basically, that is what the mini was in. So, big waste of space for this big of a book. So, that's the actual book section here. And that's the store, the mini, or the sprues. So, but yeah, so we got the sprue here. Where is that base? Put it. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I don't know where the base went. It should be here somewhere. probably going to find it later on, and that's going to piss me off. But anyways, what can we do? Okay. So, first things first. Let's see. So, technically, that's piece number 1, which is supposed to go onto the base. Just out of curiosity, is it under one of these cups? Nope, it is not. Okay. Definitely. Go. Let's see. Unfortunately, there was no instructions with this mini. I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing. Definitely. So this needs to go this way, this needs to go this way, so. Okay, yeah, so this boot needs to go with this piece here. Let's see real quick if that fits here. It does. Nope, it does not. So that is not the correct piece. That means, oh, I think it's this part here. I think that's the, yeah, that's the knee. Oh shit. Fuckity fuck fuck fuck. Oh, there it is. Found my piece. And yeah, that fits right here. There we go. So, get a little bit of glue. And then push the piece in. And boom. Just like this. Okay. So, yeah, that seems to be torso. Yeah, so the torso goes like this with the foot here. Okay. this Commander Titus's head, so let's get him out of there. Now his head goes onto this piece here, this way. That sits back, so that's, yeah, there we go. That's how it looks. Let's put his head like this. That's his backpack. That's part of his leg that I'm going to need. Boom. Okay, now this leg is going to go up here. It's supposed to go there. There we go. Boom. So we got this guy's. So let's see. So we do need this arm here with the chainsaw sword. Boom. Yeah, this one goes like. Yeah, this arm goes in here. Okay. Okay. Now, can if I do this, does that not do anything? I'll be able to do this. Okay. And boom. Okay. Now let's get his accessories down. So let's get that fucking little thing up here. This. I want to get this backpack on. Boom. Let's get his gun on. That feels right. Yeah, no. Gun like this is better. And now his shoulder pauldrons. Oops. Yeah, no, definitely these sides. Let's see. Real quick. There we go. Yeah, so this pauldron does go up here. And the final pauldron. Boom. Okay, so not sure where his base is, but there we go. We got Lord Commander Titus. So once I find his base, I'll be able to put him on his base and then get him sorted out and primed later on if I want to paint him. And boom. Okay, so thanks still Zilla, but I'm also done for the evening, so thank you very much for taking time to join me tonight. So quick recap, you got this little guy here that's pretty much looking awesome. You got Starscream's feet, the arms that are over there, and all of the drones have 2 coats of blue. We'll need a third one, but definitely going to be another day. Alrighty, well, thank you Chillzilla for taking the time to join me, and whoever else is on watching live. This will be up on YouTube shortly, so thank you again, and have a wonderful evening everyone. Bye.